Well, as you can see, I've been looking on eBay again, and I found this very interesting boat here called Tinkerbelle, and for only £1,000. Now the boat was sold, but I did contact the owner and he said that the person had been messing him around, and so it may come back onto the market. So we'll just have to see if Tinkerbelle is for me. And I'll explain that to you now. Well, as you can see, I've got my fairy hat on today. And that's because there's been another development in the Sara saga. Because nobody's been getting back to me about wee Annie. And so whilst I'm waiting, twiddling my thumbs, doing nothing, of course I find myself having a look through some of the sold listings on eBay and I find a very interesting little boat called Tinkerbelle. Now Tinkerbelle, as you will recall, is the fairy that Peter Pan, I think, Tinkerbelle. So I knew this, but I didn't know about the other Tinkerbelle, because in boating there's another Tinkerbelle which is the smallest boat, used to be the smallest boat across the Atlantic, a much smaller boat than this Tinkerbelle. Now, to talk about this Tinkerbelle that I found on eBay, this is the same price as wee Annie, but it is a 22-foot sailing yacht. It's a Macwester Rowan 22, and this is a very classic sailing boat. It's a full keel sailing boat, and it's just a little bit, it's bigger than wee Annie. It's able to be lived aboard more properly. It can have all of the, it's got space to be able to put solar panels in, and cooking facilities. It's got cooking facilities. It's also got it's fully equipped, ready for coastal cruising, this boat. And so wee Annie was a boat that I felt that somebody else might want to own, because I felt it wasn't at the correct level for my lady and myself to own personally. But Tinkerbelle is fine, and I showed her to my lady, and she likes her and is attracted towards wanting to own Tinkerbelle as our next couple boat. So this might become a journey, a personal journey of us from Tinkerbelle through to Sara, maybe one day when Sara is completed. So, the other thing I realised, I had a look at some of the pictures of Sara here. You can see I've been looking on my cell phone. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe you can see that. But you can see how pointed and thin and narrow Sara is. And so although Sara's a 29-footer, she's only probably the size inside of a 16-footer. Like, she's like wee Annie with a long front and a long back, and of course you get stowage space, but you don't really get much bigger inside. And so I've got this feeling that Sara is not as big as I might think. Thinking, oh, she's a 29-footer, so this is a kind of a big sailing boat. It's not as big as a modern 29-footer, and nowhere near as big as a Macwester 29-footer would be. A Macwester 22 is probably bigger than Sara, actually, or the same size at least. So those were something I mulled over and considered, and to be able to get a coastal cruising sailing boat like Tinkerbelle for such a low price and fully equipped, ready to go. It's got a very small engine. It's only I think it's a 6 horsepower Petter Lister diesel, which I had to listen to them running on eBay they don't make such a nice sound, you know. So hopefully the engine compartment is a little bit soundproofed. But then I thought, oh goodness, it's an old engine. I bet you can't even get parts for them anymore. But I had a look at another boat that had a Saab engine and some other engine, and I couldn't find any parts for that. And so the last thing I did was I went and had a look at Petalista parts on eBay, and there's loads of parts there. You can get pistons and piston rings, and of course I think it's only got one piston, one cylinder. It's a very basic engine, so as long as you can get the parts for it, I could probably end up rebuilding the engine myself. Well, I'm just having a wee cup of coffee, thinking about wee Annie, and I gave my friend David a ring. I said I wasn't going to do that. I hadn't actually told him that I put up all the other 7 videos, 6 videos. I'd only told him about the 1 video, but I thought, well, I'll phone him just in case he hasn't seen it, about wee Annie. And there's no reply on David's phone, so I think, well, that's interesting. Maybe I shouldn't be chasing him up like I said I wasn't going to. And so then I thought, well, Tony, who owns Tinkerbelle, had said to me if the other person hadn't got back to him or paid him the money, then by Monday morning, then he would be able to offer the boat to me. And so I thought, well, maybe I should give Tony, it's Sunday today, Sunday afternoon. So maybe I should give him a ring and see what the story is, because maybe I'm just wasting my time with Tinkerbelle. It might have gone already. And so I'll call him up, and Tinkerbelle is still for me, as long as there's no money in tomorrow morning, then it looks like she's coming to me. So I asked him about what do I do now, because I've been thinking about having to prepare the boat, getting it ready, and I'll need it to be on the land before I put it on the water and make sure all the systems are in place. So, and what the story would, need to pay for that, and apparently he's already paid up front for the whole month, and so I'll have the whole rest of the month, which is a couple of weeks, in which to sort things out before I actually have to take the boat on its trip. So it works out absolutely perfectly, and he also said he's going to give me a battery charger as well, and so that will be really useful. I'm very, very, very much indebted to Tony, who seems to be a wonderful gentleman and just the right sort of person to be buying the boat from. I'm really, really, really happy. So this video is ending on this note to say, will I or will I not get Tinkerbelle? And it will be up to the universe to decide. And if I'm meant to get this boat, I will get it. If I'm not, then this gentleman who wanted to buy it will turn up and take it himself. And so I think that's really good. And if it does come to me, then I feel that that's really meant to be. Oh, that rhymes. I'm a poet. I didn't know it, but everything I'm doing shows it. Thank you for watching.